In music, a -1 track is a piece of music that is missing one musical part. For instance, it could be the bass part that is subtracted. It could be the drum part that is subtracted, or maybe even the vocal part. Think about it like karaoke. When you go to a karaoke bar to sing, the vocal part is what's eliminated. And you like it that way because you came to supply the vocal part. Well, believe it or not, that got me thinking about camping and being outdoors. So instead of doing a survival challenge, I decided to put together this series called -1, where in each episode I would imitate leaving behind or forgetting one crucial item. In this episode, I have forgotten my Hope you enjoy. Well, hey there everybody. Hope you're doing well. So I've come out into the woods to do a little camp out, and I have forgotten my shelter on purpose to make a point, but nevertheless, I decided to do tonight without a shelter. Now before we get too carried away, I think it's important that every once in a while we do a quick reality check so that we can be real about our situation. This is not a survival situation. It's about 86 degrees Fahrenheit right now. It's very humid. Rain is not in the forecast, although it did rain a little bit on my drive in, but I think those showers are gone. It's only going to get down to 65 degrees Fahrenheit tonight, and so there's no risk of hypothermia or anything like that. There's nothing life-threatening out here. But I think it is important, before you decide, do I go home or do I stick with it and make it work on a trip like this where you've forgotten an item? You have to analyze the risks. And my only risks out here tonight are just being flat out uncomfortable and the bugs. The bugs, the mosquitoes, things will have access to me. I did bring some bug spray and I will use it, but I'm going to be sleeping out here on the ground, and so I'm not going to be behind a mesh netting of any type. So we're going to get to it. I'm going to construct a quick debris shelter using found items, and I'm actually going to use this fallen tree right here behind me to sleep up against, and I'll lay some limbs and things and debris found around the woodland here, the little forest, to kind of create a small shelter for myself. I could lay right on top of the leaf litter, but the truth is bugs and creepy crawly things love to hide under that stuff. And so by clearing a little bit of the leaf litter, I can make it a little more inhospitable for the bugs and the creepy crawlies. Well, yeah, I figure pieces that are almost about as high as I am should work about right. So yeah, something like that. It's not perfect, I'm a little taller, but that's about right. So that's the height I'm going for. We'll just start it right up here, trying to not have any pokey ends that are, pointed down at me. That's not too bad right there. I gotta make sure that I can climb in, of course. Tell you what, I'm gonna do big. This is a big end, and that's the smaller. I'm gonna do the big end up here. It's gonna be tight, no doubt, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't need a huge space. Trade those. Quick little update. I found this really great piece of wood here, nice and straight, and I'm going to take, oh, it has ants all over it, fun. I'm going to take some bank line lay it on top of this tree trunk and just tie it down so it doesn't fall off. That way I get a little more elevation kind of on some of these limbs, and it creates just a couple more inches of space inside. Yeah, that's not half bad. Don't get me wrong, it's gonna be tight. I'm not lying about that. I won't pretend like this is a spacious cabin here, but it is gonna cover me. My feet are just sticking out the other end, so I may put a few more pieces down here on the end just so that my feet aren't hanging out. This will probably be, I'll just keep my head right under this first little rafter here tonight. So yeah, it'll work. It's gonna be tight, but it'll work. I think it's important before we go a lot further that I just give another reality check. I think it's important for us to just recognize the fact that I literally could plop down anywhere without even a shelter. I could just lay down and go to sleep and I would be fine. I could also find a tree like this one, sit right up next to it and lean back, and I could try to sleep like this. Now it wouldn't be super comfortable and I'd wake up a lot, but I could get some shut-eye if I had to. But I think there is something to be said about the psychological element of having a space, having a shelter, having some area to rest. Even the animals bed down a little bit, right? And so I think animals and humans, we do that because if we're in a place that we can call our own, even as simple as that rickety little lean-to structure that I made with my debris around the forest here, is my brain feels safe. So psychologically, my brain is going, I feel safe, this is my home, this is my place, I can rest. And when your brain does that, then you're able to actually go to sleep, versus sleeping out here against a tree or laying down on the ground where I'm completely exposed and I'm mentally unable to turn off enough to get adequate rest. This is one of my kind of favorite little camping areas. This is a spot that I've come to before a few times, and I have made a little fire pit here. It needed cleaning out, but there's no sense in not using it since it's here. It's made of rock, so it's elevated off of the duff. I'm not worried about burning into the roots or anything like that. And I don't know if you can see that my shelter's right down there. Easiest way, in my opinion, to start a fire is using these Duraflame fire start cubes. You just burn the package and it goes. That's my favorite and fastest, easiest way, with just a Bic lighter and one of these guys. And yep, that's all it takes. And you lay your twigs right on that. It'll burn for a good little while before, so there's no rush. I also like using cotton balls soaked in Vaseline, petroleum jelly. That works really well. Also, if you're not trying to be too bushcrafty, and I'm not, I'm just camping, so this'll do. I'm not going to show you every itty bitty step in the cooking process, but I've got a russet potato and a beet that I've cut up, and I'm rolling it in some olive oil, garlic, salt, and just some other various seasonings that I had with me. Put it in this tin foil, and it's going to go over the coals here in just a bit. Shoo! Hot, hot, hot. I've got a pan with a little olive oil in it. Let me get that hot for a moment. And I've got just a small sirloin steak. Nothing huge, nothing monstrous. Probably 5 or so minutes per side. Wow, they look great. Do have a little something special to add to it, some goat's cheese. Get that in there. Mix it around. I've got some chives, some chopped chives. Check out the steak. I have mixed a little horseradish, butter, salt, pepper, and that is now melting all over the top. Look at those. Let's get a good bite here. Chives, goat cheese, potatoes, beets. I don't know, you guys tell me. There's a tiny bit of pink in there. I'll say medium well. Let's see what that's like. Okay. Cut of steak is a little bit chewy, but very good. Alright, got everything washed up. It's about 7 o'clock, so got my headlamp in case it's dark on the way back. My little jar fishing kit, but like I said, I don't have any bait. If I can find some bait on the way, or when I get down there, I'll fish. If not, I don't care. And I'm taking my little camp chair with me. So, got some water and a full belly. And I'm just going to go relax by the water and chill out by the lake a little bit. Come with me. Phew-wee. How about this little view? Pretty peaceful. I turned over one rock, and under the first rock, I found an earthworm. Here we go. Let's give it a whirl. There's the bobber. Alright, I'm gonna hop in bed now. Best I can. Sliding into my sleeping bag. Things are a little tight, and I'm not even in yet. Okay. Well, that's gonna be all she wrote. Wish me luck, everybody. Good night. Oh, good morning. Oh, lessons were learned. Oh, lessons were learned. I should say lessons were relearned. Some things I should have known that I just forgot for some reason on this outing. The first and foremost being that you should try to sleep on level ground. And this is sloped away from the tree. I think I'm gonna make a fire. I feel like I'm permanently bent over. The Hunchback of Explore Your Land. Let's see if I can stand up. Oh, okay. I'll survive. Oh yeah, plenty hot. Just the instant stuff for the wind this morning. Nothing too fancy. Cheers. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna go dump another thing of water on the fire. Then I'm gonna disassemble the shelter and try to make it look like I was never here, right? Leave no trace. And then I'm gonna pack everything up in my backpack and get on back to the real world, or the fake world, or however you want to describe it. Sometimes this feels more real than anything. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little something. I know I learned a little something as well, and that's always fun when in the process of demonstrating and showing I can learn. Alright gang, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.